I'm going to be honest, I love these. In pretty much every video that I've done about hairstyles before on this channel, I've always recommended some form of either brush or comb. And these are awesome, they really do the job. But what if they're not here anymore? Let's say you've forgotten to take your brush or comb with you somewhere, or you're in a rush and don't want to have to waste time using one, or maybe you just prefer the feeling of styling with your hands instead. Well, if any of them describe you, then this video is going to be perfect. Because today I'm going to be showing you how you can style your hair using pretty much just your hands. No hairbrush and no comb required. This video is going to be split into two sections. The first bit is going to cover pre-styling just using hands without a brush, and then the second half is going to cover the regular styling. If you've got a hairdryer, then stick with me from this point. If you haven't, you can just skip to the time code here to view the part after the hairdryer. Sometimes I find the pre-styling process, if you're just using your hands, to be the most difficult part. Here's how to do it the best. First things first, if you're going to be using just your fingers, I'd recommend some form of liquid pre-styler. These generally tend to be easier to distribute throughout the hair and are less sticky and grimy in the hands. Because if you're in a rush, you don't want to have to be washing your hands again and again. So in this video, I'm going to be applying the Dadude Sea Salt Spray, nice and evenly throughout the head. And if you want to make sure it's evenly distributed even more, then just use your fingertips to spread it. For a true pre-styling experience, to get the most out of your hair, you're going to want to use some form of hairdryer. You're going to definitely want to get one that's got variable temperatures on, because when you've got your hands in there during the pre-styling process, you don't want this frying your fingers off. Most decent hairdryers have got the options of medium temperature or low temperature, just to keep it really comfortable whilst you're styling. When you begin with this process, the key thing to focus on, if you've got a parting, is the parting area. You need to make sure that you're setting the hair in the right direction. If you address this right from the start, then you can make sure that the parting is sitting correctly, because without a brush it can be quite difficult if you leave this till later on in the process. And often you'll end up with hairs that are sticking all over the place that you then can't pin back down. So make sure you go straight to the parting and then ensure that the hair that's longer is swept to the correct side. And then any hair that needs to be blown downwards is also dealt with. For the rest of the hair, you can easily add texture by using a small massaging motion, a bit like a claw, but it really works. And then follow your hand around the head with the blow dryer. Volume's often the real challenge when it comes to using your fingers to style your hair, but there are a couple of ways that you can easily achieve it. In certain areas like the front of the head where you want it to be really lifted, there's a couple of techniques to try. The best one for me is just holding the section of hair up with your fingers, and then press the cold button on your hairdryer or switch it to cold mode if that's the only option. And the cold hair will help to fix it in this upward position. You can do this as many times across the head of hair as you want, depending on what hairstyle you're after. This will almost mimic the effect of using a round brush and curving it upwards, as I've recommended in other videos, without any real risk of ripping out hair strands. Once your hair is dry and you've covered the rest of the head, then it's time to look at the styling. And for this, I'm going to be using the Dawax by today's video sponsor, which is Dadude. I love this product because it not only provides excellent hold, but it's a perfect match for hairstyles using your fingers, because with this stuff, you only have to use a tiny amount, meaning you're not going to have a huge lump of product in your hands, making your hands all sticky and hard to deal with. A tiny fingertip amount is likely to be enough for your whole head of hair. This even covered me when my hair was double the length it is now. And as such, it's super controllable. You can add it to whichever bit you want, and it makes for really easy styling. And because you get so much in the tub with this stuff, this is going to cover you for hundreds of uses. One of my favourite techniques once the hair is more on the dry side is to use your fingers spaced apart. Because I've seen loads of guys go in with all the fingers together like a flipper and attempt to style the hair. And this doesn't give you very much control, and it doesn't give you any disheveling. So as a result, I like to spread my hands, a bit like a claw again, and then just go straight in. And this provides a nice wide coverage and gives your hair at the front some texture too. And then make sure when you're applying the rest of the product that you just get it right down to the roots as well. Often guys will let a comb do the hard work for them, and they'll chuck on a load of product and then they'll allow the comb to spread it through the hair. But then when it comes to just applying the product without a comb, they just grab a chunk and splat it onto the front of the head. And then it just sits onto the top of the hair, doesn't really work that well. So just make sure the product is spread between the hands and then go right down to the roots, get your fingers in. You'll then easily be able to create the shape and look that you want. and you'll be left with a pretty decent looking hairstyle. And then depending on your hair, for me for instance, my hair's relatively on the thin side, so I like to use some hairspray just to really seal it in place. I like misting from 20 or 30 centimeters away will easily cover it. And then you're sorted, you've got a nice hairstyle that's going to last a long time, all through the use of your fingers. Hopefully you found this video useful and straight to the point. And if you want to try out any of the products I mentioned in this video, you can find a link to them down below, along with this awesome discount code, which is for a limited time only, so make sure you use it so that you don't have to pay full price. These pair really help to keep it easy styling. If you enjoyed the video, press the like button. And if you want to see more videos just like this one on what to wear, how to style your hair, and everything to make the most of you, then make sure you press the round subscribe icon just to this side here. And then I've got 2 more fun videos for you to watch next, just down, hovering below me down there. And I'll see you in the next one of them.